Here, Mulvey moves on to describe the camera as an observer. As the essay title implies, Mulvey is really working with what is the visual pleasure of cinema and why is it women? She writes, cinema offers a number of possible pleasures. One is scopophilia. There are circumstances in which looking itself is a source of pleasure. She goes on to explain how the cinema space itself lends itself to this voyeuristic pleasure. It's a darkened room where we're all looking towards a single subject, while we as the audience remain anonymous. She goes on to describe this specific scopophilia of cinema as a deeply narcissistic one. Yes, you might see beautiful landscapes or buildings in a film, but really the subject of popular cinema is people. With these notions in mind, and assuming that the implied cinematic audience is innately male, Laura Mulvey divides men into the bearer of the look and women into the image. Narratively, this translates to the active male character versus the passive female character. She describes the representation of women in films, saying, "The presence of women is an indispensable element of spectacle in normal narrative film. Yet her visual presence tends to work against the development of a storyline, to freeze the flow of action in a moment of erotic contemplation." Mulvey goes on to describe how, while these divisions may not be entirely intentional, they are reflective of how the male subject refuses to be objectified. Heterosexual masculinity will never allow the male body to be a site of spectacle, in a way that the women's subjugated body inherently must be. Women are not only subjugated by their eroticization, but also their fragmentation. Women are often portrayed in parts, perhaps a hand or a foot or a close-up of the face, not often the whole body unless to eroticize. It's kind of purposeful. You take away the body, you take away the agency. Mulvey particularly points to Hitchcock as an example of the male gaze, specifically Rear Window and Vertigo. These films both star Jimmy Stewart, and if you've seen them, you know the narrative of these films focuses heavily on Jimmy Stewart's characters in each of them specifically looking at women.